Spring had finally arrived in the Whitemud Creek. I wandered around to see what's up, or rather, what's been going down, and there was a lot going down. A group of city workers paused on the bridge and seemed to be looking for something.
I'll grab it. I'll use it as a segue.
After sighting the muskrat, they headed off, following the creek. I realized they were looking for beaver dams. They are dam busters, and it's an annual battle to prevent the beavers from damming up the creek entirely and causing flooding in the park. Besides that is the obvious felling of trees, and beavers can travel surprisingly long distances to find good trees. Within cities, this can lead to conflict, as they can chop down trees in people's yards or in parks. I heard of one individual staking out a park one night, hoping to catch who had been chopping down the trees in the city park. And he was surprised to find out it was a beaver. But looking at the marks on the trees, he should have been able to tell who the culprit was. I became distracted by some noisy geese flying by.
I guess there was a little bit of snow last night. You can see the tiny little particles.
I continued down the main trail, which leads to another part of the creek. There were a lot of fallen trees blocking the trail, giving some good exercise by scrambling over them.
This has got quite the trail heading off to the creek. I'm gonna guess that his dam is probably somewhere over there. And I think that's what those workers are probably here to do, is to break up the dam, prevent flooding. Seriously, there are so many downed trees in this area. This area used to be a lot more forested. The rock from last year looks like it's loosened up. It's kind of supported by that other rock there. It looks like it maybe got distorted, but I think that is probably beaver. It looks kind of freakishly long, actually. My hand right beside it. So it probably got distorted when it dried.
There are benefits to beavers. By damming up the creeks, even if temporarily, they create habitat for ducks and fish, especially the mergansers, which you can see in the background and have just flown off. They also help with forest management by allowing younger trees to grow.
There's some more beaver tracks.
I headed upstream, following the bank to where I had seen the dam earlier. It looked like it was only half built and not completely closing off the creek. With the zoom on my camera, I could see there was still a pretty good difference in the water level. And this section was still being built up. I spotted a clump of fur caught in a tree, and by the multi-tone appearance of the guard hairs, I would say it's from a coyote. I also got a closer, above-view look at the same dam.
This is a dam, if we could following it. It's trail.
This beaver had quite a wide trail, and to the left I could see where they had dragged their wood supplies down to the creek. The hillside has been slumping in this area for many years, but the grasses now have reclaimed and stabilized the slope a little. I noticed how several deer trails crisscrossed the slope. Spring growth isn't limited to just plants. This fungi was growing well. The common mergansers had returned while I was looking at the dam. It was nice seeing the pair, especially the male with his bold plumage. After mating, he will disappear from the area and leave his mate to raise the young. They were aware I was nearby, but I wasn't too close to scare them away. I found traces of another dam starting to be built.
We built it up with rocks, and I'm probably going to reinforce it with more mud and more sticks.
Rocks had been pushed up to form the basic dam shape. There had been a lot of activity in the area. I also spotted the mallards again. A few moments later, the female was chased by another male, and this male was left alone to wander about. A horrified squirrel gave an alarm call. The wild duck chase concluded, but the female was still upset. Back in the forest, I found some tiny buds that looked like little red flowers, and some more mushrooms growing on the shady side of a log.
So I was following this beaver trail, but it's getting a little overgrown and kind of laden with all sorts of logs in the way. I think I'm gonna have to turn around and head back, try to get the secondary trail. So it should be a little more clear.
Another squirrel had paused to enjoy the sunlight.
And this section is changing, looking a lot more muddied.
This was near where the city workers had walked through. The water looked quite deep here.
You can see on the right there is another dam. That's probably why it's getting so swollen here, muddied.
The rocks that this crow is on were accessible from the shore last year, which shows how much that the water level has been raised. The crow hopped about, looking for food among the rocks. I admired the light shining off of their black feathers. They gave one more call, and I decided to move on. I found some more fallen trees. This one had been stripped of its bark, and I could see the pattern of their teeth marks. There was one more thing, completely unrelated to the beavers.
This is kind of interesting too, all colors of rose petals. Somebody must have been having a bad day after Valentine's, or who knows.
I spotted another mallard couple before heading home. I enjoyed seeing the female swim near her mate. This was an enjoyable and energetic morning, scrambling over all of the fallen trees. I hoped you enjoyed hearing about the beavers and how they fit into the ecology. As always, thanks for watching.